Patch day has happened, boys. 12.0.7 is officially live. We got some news to get into. Not as many bugs as you're used to, honestly, with this patch. Kind of a smooth launch so far. Chad could tell me otherwise. I haven't played enough yet to really know, but it seems like things are going smoothly. Also, some things launched with this patch that Blizzard hadn't even told us about. So let's just dive straight in here. Oh, watching the news? No, not today, boys. I have a special announcement for you today. G Fuel is running a special campaign. That's right. Use code Samiccus at checkout for your G Fuel today, and you will now get 40% off. This will last until June 18th. A special event running from G Fuel here, making code Samiccus worth more than it's ever been. Use G Fuel like I do every day to play at your top level, boys. New formula here. Really good stuff. Try it if you haven't already. Again, use code Samiccus at checkout. Patch 12.0.7 is officially live, boys, and you know what that means? It's time to start gearing out once again and pushing further as we progress to the next season. 12.0.7 means, yes, our new progression system, the Omnium Folio, is live. That quest line is now live, and we'll talk a little bit about that quest line here in a second. Maybe a little bit of a bug happening with that, but we'll get into it here in a little bit. Nagital and Val, those two new, or I should say kind of re-release zones, are back now. Go in there, do your world quests. We have heroic world tier to get into, world bosses to kill, and everything else, so those look pretty fun. The Sporefall raid with your new mythic flex, and another feature Blizzard hadn't mentioned that I'm very excited to talk about here in a second. But yes, the Sporefall raid is live, and we'll talk a little bit about that today too. Ritual sites, you got your tier 6 ritual sites with your mythic crests dropping from those things. So unlimited myth-track crests can be had from those, so it's a really nice thing to use to basically grind out myth-track crests if you're in fact just trying to play this game solo. Loa lore walking, that's right. Get into some trolley stuff as we get ready for the next patch, which is likely a troll-based patch. Get in some storylines and stuff, this time with Lily. That's right, Lore Master Cho, or Lore Walker Cho. He's taking a little break, it seems, from this patch, so we'll see what happens with him going forward. Dragonflight Time Walking kicks off in just 2 weeks, so prepare yourselves for that. Should be really cool to go through a bunch of these old dungeons, get a beautiful-looking mount out of this thing, and obviously use it for leveling up alts if you want to. All the new mounts, I already mentioned one, an amazing mount from Lore Walking, I should say from Time Walking, coming in this patch, as well as a few other things. So yeah, obviously a new patch, plenty of mounts to be had from this thing. But let's get into some of the stuff that happened yesterday when this patch went live. So certain buffs and debuffs are not tracking properly. This is one of the bugs that have been reported, and Blizzard has acknowledged it as, in fact, being a bug in the game right now. They said that we've identified an issue with the cooldown manager where certain buffs and debuffs aren't properly tracking, and for friendly players and on enemy nameplates. So they know this is an issue. They may have already hotfixed this in, but as of right now, or as of when this thing went live, this blue post, this was still an issue. So, you know, watch it. It's not you, it's the game. If you're not tracking buffs properly, it's an issue Blizzard's already working on. The Omnium Folio is now available. I just talked about this a little bit ago. You can now pick up your quest for the Sunstrider Omnium storyline called the Magister's Call. You go ahead and get that thing started. You go through the entire quest line, and eventually you unlock the Omnium Folio. This is great. You also are going to get the Moat of Omnial Inquiry. So this is the quest that you will do to get your first little step in the folio, right? And you'll do this once a week for the next 5 weeks to fully, get this thing filled out and get fully powered up from the folio. The thing is, obviously time gating and everything that exists, but right now, the only one you can currently do is the first little talent line in that Omnium Folio. Blizzard's been buffing this thing out a little bit. Right now, people aren't too excited about the talents that come with it. It's hitting a bit limp right now. We'll see if Blizzard continues to buff it. Just yesterday, they dropped a buff for the healing aspect of the Omnium Folio. 40% buffs, in fact, basically across the board on this thing. So we'll see if they continue to reiterate on it. You can also access this thing just about anywhere in Azeroth. You don't have to go back to the Omnium Folio to change your talents or anything else like that. Just get a little mini-map button there, and you're able to flip things out. Now, as I said before, the quest is live. You can go through with it. The one issue people were having is at one point in the quest, you're supposed to kill a mob, right, and loot his corpse. Well, it turns out this mob was for some reason tagged to only allow 5 players to kill the mob at one time. So only 5 players can actually tag the mob and loot it, which led to a big choke point in the quest line yesterday, which led to a room filled with people looking like this trying to tag the mob. That's right, an absolute mob slaughter fest where people were trying to be one of the 5 who actually got to tag it and do this. Yes, it is fixed, as Lovely put there in the chat, which is good to see. This was a bug that Blizzard quickly, fixed, got this thing patched out, and now you should be able to tag this thing you know, more easily. But this was absolutely hilarious yesterday. The room was filled with people just trying to slaughter this mob pretty much all day until Blizzard actually hotfixed this. Now moving on to another big bad that needs to be killed. That's right, we got the new raid opening up, and evidently Race to World First is over, boys. 15 minutes after servers went live, Liquid defeated Mythic Rotmire. Now, they did this with a 22-man group. We already know this is a Flex Mythic raid. For the first time ever, Blizzard has introduced Flex Mythic raiding, which means you don't have to come in with the locked-in 20 players. You can actually range from 15 to 25. We saw Liquid do it with 22 players. They got this thing down. Obviously, not a very difficult boss. I mean, 15 minutes after this thing went live, he was already killed. So there you go. Race to World First, the final Race to World First of Season 1 on midnight is officially over. Now, one really crazy thing about Rotmire is not only has Blizzard seemingly changed it up when it comes to the number of players you need for Mythic raiding, guys, they may have done it. They may have listened to Samiccus and removed Mythic Lockout. That's right, it turns out that Mythic Lockout is no longer a thing with Rotmire. Now, I don't know if they're going to continue to do this going forward, but this is absolutely amazing and something that I've been calling for a long time. If you want to make Mythic raiding something that the regular Andes can do after they complete Heroic Raid, you got to remove the lockout so people can actually pug this thing and keep it, you know, you can keep it through the Race to World First, whatever you want, but once those guilds finish that thing and the first 100 list is done, lockouts should be removed, in my opinion, on Mythic raiding. Well, right now, Rotmire, the way he currently works, you can go in there even after you've killed him on Mythic Raid and participate with friends to help them kill him as well. Now, the really cool thing about this is, yes, you cannot re-loot the corpse. Obviously, it works just like Heroic Lockout, where if you re-kill a boss on Heroic Raid after you've already killed him that week, you can kill him and help people do it, but you just can't loot the corpse anymore. Well, it turns out you can still bonus roll on Rotmire. That's right, so if you've saved up a bunch of bonus rolls, Rotmire is going to be a guy that a lot of us are using our bonus rolls on because he currently gives the highest item level gear in the game. There's going to be plenty of biz items that come from him, and a lot of people are going to be saving their bonus rolls for this boss. Well, if you go in on Mythic Raid, you kill him, you know, you loot him and everything else, you go back in again with your buddies later on, you can actually get him, get another bonus roll, or use another bonus roll, I should say, on that next kill. So you can do consecutive kills over and over. As long as if you got 3 bonus rolls, you can kill him 3 times in 1 week and bonus roll on him 3 times in that same week. So that's really nice to see. I don't know if Blizzard's going to patch that out, if that was a mistake or not, but for sure, one thing that you can do is go in and kill him once again with your buddies. You are no longer locked out because you mythically raided with anybody else. Now, as I said before, I don't know if they're carrying this forward or because this is a single boss kind of experimental raid. This is just the mythic lockout for this is the only way it's going to be, and they're not going to do this going forward, but I really hope they do. I've said it many, many times before. Doing mythic raids is extremely punishable with a pug, because if you kill the first boss and you get locked out for the rest of the raid, well, you fucked yourself out of the entire week. People who have guilds, people who do this stuff with regular groups, do not want to pug it because they're worried about it. Also, if you actually form up a mythic raid pug and you happen to wipe on the first boss, that first wipe group basically disbands because everyone's convinced at that point that this group's not capable of doing this, or only maybe getting 1 boss kill. They don't want to lock out with only 1 boss kill. So I think removing mythic raid at lockout going forward would be a great thing for the game. I've said it many, many times before, and I'll continue to say it until Blizzard actually does it. Did they actually do it? Looks like they did for this new raid. We'll see if they do it again for the next one. Okay, moving on. Another large Lura nerf. We talked about these Lura nerfs just yesterday. Blizzard added 1 more line to this nerf line here. This right here was added in just before patch went live yesterday. The resonance no longer triggers Tears of Lura. That's right. This means that if you don't know, right now, if you drop the little light crystals during phase 1 and those things get hit, basically it's an automatic wipe for the raid. That's no longer the case. Essentially now, players can pick up and hold the light crystals for the entirety of phase 1 and never have to worry about anything. If they get hit, no problem. It's not going to kill the entire raid. It's no longer going to trigger any kind of radiant damage, which is great. That's another little key there to nerfing Lura enough for people to be able to do it on a regular basis on Heroics. So yeah, this is a really good one. If you're a healer, you've been dealing with the light crystals, or if you are assigned light crystals in your group, you knew that you had to drop it at certain points. That's no longer a thing. At least for phase 1, you can hold the light crystal for the entirety of the phase and no longer worry about killing the raid if you get hit by something. Moving on, it looks like World of Warcraft's getting World Cup fever. This was kind of an unannounced little feature here. Yes, World Cup fever has come to World of Warcraft, and it turns out there's 2 really cool tabards to get from this thing, and a trophy, and some decor items as well. So right now, you can earn these really cool looking decor items and tabards by going to the Thalassian University in northwestern Silvermoon. Once there, you speak with Richmond, and you pick up either the Horde or Alliance tabard. These are really cool looking tabards, honestly, so I just want this one just to have it. But you basically get these. They have a World Cup, you know, Azerothian style logo on the back, which is also really cool. Once you have those, you can also pick up the kickball practice ball from him, purchasing that for just a gold and 25 silver. You go onto the little field to the side of him, and you place the ball down in the center of the field and kick it towards the goal. Once you score, you will unlock the prized Orb of Azeroth, the Framed Horde Pride, and the Framed Alliance Pride. That's right, so you'll get this little trophy here, which kind of looks like a World Cup trophy, and then you also get these 2 little picture poster frames, basically for your house items, right, for your decor. So this is, the Horde is better, I disagree, but we'll agree to disagree. Pretty cool little World Cup event here if you actually want to do this, and some really cool and easy items to earn. Something that we can't earn, though, here in the Americas or anywhere else outside of China. Blizzard's done it once again, guys. For some reason, China continues to get the best mounts in the game, exclusively for them. We talked about it when we saw the Revendreth Coffin freaking mount. Absolutely glorious. Well, the other day, we saw a data mine mount, and everyone in the chat was saying, hey, man, this mount's so cool. When are we going to get it? And somebody joked and said, bet you it's a China-only mount. Well, the joke has become a reality, boys and girls. This glorious looking panda mount with the sleeping baby panda on the back. Absolutely freaking badass looking. I mean, not badass, it's cute, right? But this is a cool looking, highly detailed mount. Only in China. That's right, only in China. As part of their Midsummer Fire Festival, they have an extra event going on with it. And yes, we have these this Bamboo Dweller, as they're calling it. It is a flying panda mount. They also get this Yaoyo Fairy dragon pet, so this is another thing that they're getting exclusively for them. They also get this little flower here, a few decor items, flowers in the hair, and a blooming ancient little pet here for classic players. So yeah, China continues to win. I don't know what to say. The Blizzard team's absolutely knocking it out of the park with Chinese mounts that we're not allowed to have. So there you go. Just be Chinese. Yeah, you're right. I just got to move, get a citizenship, and then install WoW on my China-based PC, and I can get this mount. True, you should be doing that. Won't buy it with cash. I mean, I don't know if they ever put it on the WoW store or not. They haven't done it with the other one. We talked about the, like I said, the Revendreth Coffin mount, which is exclusive to China. That's not on the WoW store. You can't purchase that thing. That is still a China-only exclusive mount. I don't know what Blizzard's plans are going forward with these amazing-looking Chinese mounts, but for now, it's a China-only thing. For, honestly, the patch launch and everything else, overall news for this, it hasn't been that bad, guys. 12.0.7 seemingly launched pretty smoothly. We're about to dive straight into it. So for today, that is all in terms of news.